Hello Adrian, and welcome back to my channel. It's 7:30 p.m. once again, UTC +8, and welcome wherever you are watching around the world. And yesterday, yesterday I said it was money time, and we would going to see a substantial move. And is that not what is going on right now, or isn't that what was going on? Woo! And it's still ongoing actually right now. So where is this going to be ending, or where are we going? Are we looking at to see where we going to stop from here? But first, let's take a look at what is going on in the rest of the world with the COVID situation. Okay, here are the updated numbers. We can see that the United States is over 1 million cases, and Spain and Italy over 200,000 cases right now. Hi, Darren. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome once again to the show. And then let's take a look at how it looks on the chart. Let's take a look. Ooh, boop. And we are at over 3.1 million cases. Still no real flattening of the curve overall. The slope is slower, but still no flattening. The US finally is showing some flattening. Spain still going up. Italy slower, but still going up. France is doing worse again and still going up. UK still going up. Germany is slowing down a little bit. So yeah, that would be, yeah, still no real change, I guess. Things are still not looking good. The only thing that is positive is the amount of people that are recovered. We are close to 1 million people who have recovered. That's close to 1/3 of everybody. Hi Stephen, welcome to the channel. And what is my prediction for BTC? Well, we will find out in a little bit, right? Well, let's go into it. Where should we start? Well, yeah, maybe first with the S&P, because basically yesterday when I was talking to you guys, this is the short term, I was looking at this chart on the daily, and I was telling like, oh, this looks like it wants to go another leg up, and the S&P on the daily. So if the S&P, since it's so correlated with Bitcoin, if it's going another leg up, then most likely Bitcoin is going to go another leg up as well, right? So that was basically what I was looking at. But of course, we needed to wait for confirmation. We already, like I said yesterday, we already knew that we would going to have a substantial or a very big move. So there was no need for us to be rushing into anything. We could just pivot at one point to the other point, and there would be still enough price difference to make enough like money. You don't need to have to be have the absolute bottom or have the absolute top to be making money, if you know that the volatility is going to be very, very, very big, right? So let's take a look here at the S&P. And we can see that now we are actually kind of forming more like a channel rather than a rising wedge, I guess. But still, yeah, it's still rising wedge type. Let's put it like that. But like I said, this looks like it just wants to go up one more leg up with all these bullish crosses or near bullish crosses that are coming in. We keep closing higher and higher, and we've been closing above the EMA 55 for a couple of days now. Thank you for liking the stream, Matthew, and welcome to the channel. So yeah, this looks like it wants to be popping up, and over the next coming few weeks, I think it will start retesting the EMA 200 and eventually maybe even the MA 200. And you can see here there is a very, very juicy order block here. So that would mean that a lot of resistance at that point over there. So we have to be at that point be a little bit careful. Hi Titus, thank you for liking the stream, and welcome also to this evening. So yeah, those are the areas that I'm looking at. So once this breaks, and most likely it will break in the next couple of days, I'm looking first at 294, 2,945, and then most likely even higher to around 3,000 even. And once we get to 3,000 even, that's when I'll be be very, very careful with my positions. Let's put it like that. Okay, so since I believe that the S&P is going to have a leg up, that's why yesterday I was like, everything is pointing for a leg up. Is BTC going to do the same thing? And yeah, if we look at the BTC, what is going on right now, let's go to the weekly chart. As you can see, our rising wedge is getting broken to the upside. That usually the probabilities of that happening is of course on the lower side, but it still can happen. Like I said, there's always a chance that the market does what the market wants to do. And although we try to bet on probabilities, we have to make sure that when something like this happens, we are quickly enough to be pivoting. But I think, well, I hope that you guys were aware of where the pivot spots were to switching over your position. So first, let's go into the main content of today. Well, the main content of today is basically the correlation between hi Jay, thank you for following and welcome to the channel. The main content for today is the correlation between Bitcoin, S&P 500, and the halvings. As you know, in a couple of weeks, well, it's predicted to be around the 11th of May or the 12th of May, we are going to have our third halving date, right? What is halving? Basically, the miners are going to get only half of their rewards, meaning, well, why are people so bullish on it? Because the miners will have only half amount of Bitcoin that they can sell on dump on the market. So less supply, meaning means also more higher scarcity, meaning that the price should be going up as well, right? Something that is becoming more scarce should become more valuable. Hi Adam, thank you for following and welcome to the channel. So I did a little bit an in-depth comparison of what was going on. So I put already prepared everything already on this chart so that you can see. So on the left hand side here we can see the S&P 500, and on the right hand side this is our Bitcoin chart, right? So every time we have a vertical line, that is our halving date. So we have our halving on the 28th of November 2012. That was our first halving. The second halving on the 9th of July, approximately there, 9th of July 2016. And of course, we have our third halving date on the 12th of May 2020. So that's basically where everything is at. And as you can see, the correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P 500 is immense, as you can see. So what happened during the first halving, we have a bullish accumulation pattern. As you can see here, we were accumulating during the first halving, and then what happened, distribution, and we pumped up the price on the S&P. Similar in Bitcoin, right? You can see here we made a bullish accumulation, and then we made a distribution, or we went up very, very intensely. The volume on the first halving, during the first halving on the S&P was pretty much same. They didn't go up, but it also didn't go down that much, while on BTC volume spiked up. So that's very important as well. So that means that we would have a substantial amount of price going up. What happened in the second halving was very, very similar. We have a bullish accumulation phase on the S&P. What happened? Volume spiked up, and we had a bullish push towards the top. Very similar on Bitcoin. We have a bullish accumulation phase, and then volume spiked up, and then what happened? Price spiked up as well. So all of that. Let's remove this one. All of that is very, 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 very logical. Nothing different there. The only different right now, what is different between the first two halvings, is that instead of a bullish accumulation phase, what we are having is actually a downtrend. Similar, well, on S&P we went down substantially, and on Bitcoin we also went down, of course, substantially. This is still an accumulation phase because we are basically accumulating when we are going down. And also the difference is the volume went down on the S&P as well as on Bitcoin. So as you can see, the correlation between the S&P and Bitcoin was once again on a macro level can be seen very clearly. But now also the difference is the halving number 3. The structure of the halving number 3 is very different from halving number 1 and number 2. What is going to happen after the halving? Because a lot of people are obviously very bullish still. It's very bullish. I am way less bullish because this looks to me more like a bearish accumulation phase. Because as you can see, even though we are accumulating, we are still in a downtrend. Doesn't mean, you know, we cannot go up, right? We still, well, as you can see, we are still trending to go up. But I do believe that at one point, when people believe that this is going to spike us to like 38,000 or something like that, that's basically what people are thinking, because it happened in the previous 2 halvings. Like I said, there's a very big difference between the 3rd halving and the 2nd and the 1st halving. Volume went down, not up. Volume went down. And we had a bullish accumulation phase, but here we have a bearish accumulation phase. So although I do believe that Bitcoin is going to go higher, I mean, right now at this point, but for people who are thinking, okay, we're gonna go to like 40 to 50,000, I don't think that is what is going to be in the short future, or what people are hoping. I have a feeling that after this push, and when halving happens and people see that the price doesn't go up as much as people think, after a while it's going to get pushed back down again. So this is just a very macro perspective, so keep just, you know, it's just to keep things in mind. As a, you know, as a trader, I try to always make sure that I have, let's say, a macro perspective or a grand concept of what is going on in the crypto industry, and then trading on that is completely different, because it all depends on what your time frame is, right? I cannot tell. I mean, for some people, they are just investing, meaning they just want to buy at one spot. For example, if you bought here at this dump here and you're willing to hold that for 5 years, great, that's probably a very good buy, right? But let's say after 1 year, I'm just saying, the price went a little bit lower to like $2,000 or something, I'm just giving an example, then some people might think, yeah, that wasn't a good investment. You know, it all depends on what time frame you are looking at, or how, you know, how you are trading. Are you trading on a daily basis, weekly basis, yearly basis? Are you looking at it as an investment? You know, what are you doing? I don't know. That's different for everybody. But what for me is important is, although I do strongly believe in Bitcoin, I've said this in a couple of times already, I don't think that we are just ready yet to move to make Bitcoin in something that we all hope it can. And it has the technology to become what we kind of want it to be, like a store of value, a digital gold 2.0, and so on and so on. And with Lightning Network, it could even potentially become a payment solution as well, or a currency solution. But I do believe that maybe for like in the next cycles, let's put it like that, like maybe in the next 5-10 years or something like that. So if you believe that that's going to be the case, it doesn't really matter when you are buying, right? Like I said, if you bought at like 4,000 or 5,000 and it becomes 50,000 or 100,000 in like 5 or 10 years, great, right? That's just perfect. So if you are that kind of person to be investing on a long term, nothing much that I can say. If you are a day trader like me on a short term basis, if you are margin trading, if you are trading options and so on, that's of course a completely different case. Okay, so let's move on into our more short-term analysis, and that would be on a 2-day basis. So something that I've been talking about with you guys is a couple of things for a while now. We have this bearish cross here on the a death cross, basically the EMA 55 with the EMA 200. So what happened here is right now price is above the EMA 200. So what can happen is, of course, we can re-break it, and that is most likely what is going to happen. So if the price keeps staying above this EMA 55 line, then what will happen is we will have a bullish cross, and that basically removes all of this, and then we do effectively have a reversal pattern. And it's starting to look like it as well, right? So for the next couple of days, for the next couple of weeks, as long as price is above this EMA 55, things are looking super good, right? We cannot be bearish if the price keeps closing above such an important moving average. Although there's a couple of things that, of course, we have to take a look at. And first of all, we have to take a look at the weekly. So the weekly, we are currently above all the major moving averages. And what I'm looking at is the monthly. What we want to do is keep closing the monthly above this EMA 21. If it closes this month above, like I said, not tomorrow, well, for me it's going to be Friday. Yeah, Friday morning. If the monthly is going to be closing above this, it most likely going to be a continuation pattern, because what I'm seeing then is, of course, this huge capitulation candle here, capitulation candle, then a continuation pushing above the EMA 21. So most likely the next candle will be a once again a continuation candle for the next month as well. So if that happens, and the probabilities right now at this moment are quite high, except you never know, if the bears suddenly jump in and push down the price for $500, then then we'll have to readjust it once again. But it doesn't look like it, because right now the bears seem to be, just happy to let things roll. And it kind of reminds me of what happened to Bitcoin Cash. If you saw what happened with Bitcoin Cash, because Bitcoin Cash had the halving around 1 month ago. They had the halving 1 month ago, and what happened is sort of like a pump and dump type of thing, and this kind of starting to look similar like that. So I would still be very, of course, like I said, if you understand the macro trend, I would still be very careful, because the bears have absolutely done nothing at this moment, and they are basically just saving up their energy, right? Because they have made a lot of money because of this dump here, right? So they are just basically just letting the bulls do what they want to do, and then at one point they are going to hit. So it's also very important for us to define clear zones. Hi Mercedes, you're hoping that it goes to 9.5k. That's actually a very nice target, and that's definitely a target that is very possible as well. We will be going over those kind of the targets that we are looking at in a moment, where I'm looking at. So what happens on the daily, right? So we've been talking about this this green box for a long time already, and as you can see, we broke up above this rising wedge. It happens, right? And like I said, if the price moves over the EMA 200, which was at 7,880, it was a nice pivot point to be switching into a long, because like I said, if that price would be broken, the EMA 200, if we start closing candles above that, I would be closing my shorts and switching over into a long, because most likely we will be trending up a lot higher. And a lot higher, where are we talking about? Well, right here where this red line is. So if we make a measured move from that rising wedge, let's make a small small measured move, we will see that, oh, let's move this here a little bit. We will see that from that point we can go a lot higher actually. So that is my first target actually. So 8.5 is my first target, because obviously that was also our previous pivot point where we bounced up and bounced up here, and you can clearly see that 8.5k is very, as long as we keep closing above the 8k line, most likely we will be reaching that point. Our next target would be the next Fibonacci line, which is here at 8,700 and 50-ish, something like that. Here at this line here, 8,760, but I don't think that is the most critical line. And then my next target would be right here, the previous high at 9,155. So those are basically the targets that I'm aiming for at this current point in time. I'll be already starting taking profits at 8.5k though, because like I said, I'm just day trading, so I'm just there to take the profit and move on and take on another position. So I'm not in it for the long run. I'm just trading basically, because I mean, if you just take your Bitcoin to your grave and you keep holding, I mean, I also don't understand that mentality from people who are saying like, I just hold, okay? So you just hold until when? Like until until you die, until you retire? I don't know. What's the purpose of holding? Like, I don't know, right? I mean, for me, I'm just thinking about it in a trader's perspective. I want to make money, as in I want to gain something. Either I want to, because I believe in Bitcoin, I want to gain more Bitcoin, right? And yeah, I do this for a living, so you know, there's nothing else. Like, this is my job. So if I'm not making money, then I can't provide for my family. I can't put food on the table, right? So it's going to be very, very tough to be holding Bitcoin and just be happy about it at the end of my life or something like that. Hi Jason, welcome to the channel and thank you for following. So since we broke out from this green box, my first target would be 8.5. Most likely I'll start taking some profits already at 8.4. I'll show you why that is. Here is my lines. Boom, here. So we have a previous order block at this point here. As you can see here, previous order block here at 8.425. So around 8.425 to 8.5. That's where I'm most likely going to start taking profits. Yeah, ETH has been doing great as well. Yeah, let's take a quick look at ETH. As you can see here, similar action. The first big resistance for ETH is 217. So I would definitely think about taking some profits at 217 dollars as well. The big resistance was the $200 where we kept hammering onto, and once that broke, yeah, 217 would be my first target, and then the next target would be at 245 actually. So ETH looks pretty healthy, and 245, if Bitcoin, it will follow Bitcoin, right? So if Bitcoin goes to like 9k area, then ETH is most likely gonna go to 245, right? So let's go back into our chart. Boom, boom, boom. So yesterday, what I told you guys was the signal, right? The signal. Boom. Historical volatility percentile. I told you guys it was money time. It flashed red, as you can see, and it's been contracting since all the way from top to the bottom. And I told you guys we are going to have a big move. And as you can see, we have not broken out of this triangle just yet. What does that mean? It means that over the next couple of days, we will have continuation of what we have started, right? Of this movement. So when people are saying like, well, was this the move? Yeah, we moved like $600. That's it? No, that's not it. It just basically gives me the indication that we are going to go up more. And like I said, this is most likely going to be a 1.5k or 2k move in total. So I'm definitely bullish right now, you know, like, because what this indicator is just saying is like there is going to be a lot of volatility, but it will not give me the indication which direction is going to go. But now that I know what direction it's most likely going to go, then of course I will just be holding my position. I mean, until I see, you know. So quick look at the expected moves charts. As you can see, it's immensely high, and the first standard deviation on the top side is at 8,275. So yeah, nothing much that I can say. And then the second standard deviation to the top side is 8.4K, which is one of my targets. And the third standard deviation is 8537, which is also is my second target, right? So I'll just start taking profits around that area, 8.4 to 8.5, maybe nibble a little bit from that area on. Is it going to be today? Maybe, but most likely it will take, it will slowly get there. It's not going to be immediately. We already moved like, from 7.7, we already to 8.2. I think we already moved like $600 or something like that, right? But what this is saying is we are not there yet. We still have a substantial amount of power to be moving, right? And also, if we just take a quick look at our RSI, you can see here we are back. We just bounced off our EMA and we just skyrocket right now on the top. And even if you look at on the daily basis, you can see it even more clearly on the RSI. Very beautiful structure right here. As you can see, we have been here. This was our support. We bounced on support, broke down on support. This became resistance. Back down, this became resistance, and then yesterday what happened was it angled down, but then it broke resistance. So what does this mean is most likely we will have a little bit more high, then it will bounce back down and curl around there until we reach some top, and then we'll reset things back down. That's basically what I'm foreseeing in the next next couple of days or something like that. Also, if we are looking at the CCI, we can clearly see that we still have quite a nice amount of space that we can go up as well. So, yep, I think everything is pretty good right now. And yeah, as long as tomorrow, if we close above 7971, which is the simple 200 moving average. It would be even better if we close above this VWAP ratio support line that is at 8,038. That would be actually even better if we close above it. And then I just see continuation for now. So something like this, and then somewhere here, and then most likely a retracement there as well. Yeah, Mercedes. I've been streaming on a daily basis. Every day you can see a video. You can just go to my videos section and you can see every day 7:30 I am doing this. Well, my wife is 9 months pregnant, so my baby boy is going to be arriving any day now. So it's possible that I will miss a show once the baby is here. But if the baby is not here, then yeah, I will be doing this daily basis. Hi Tung, Vietnamese. Thank you for following me. For people who don't know, I'm actually Belgian Vietnamese. So yeah, I'm multicultural. Let's put it like that. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. I'm very excited for it as well, because yeah, it's my firstborn as well. So yeah, very excited. But they say that once you have a baby in your arms, and you'll figure out what you have to do. So I'm hoping that it comes naturally. For the record, trading did not come naturally to me. I've been doing this for over close to 7 years now, so I'm not it took a while for me to learn all of this. And actually the reason why I'm doing this is actually just to motivate myself during this lockdown period, and as well to backtest myself as well to whatever I'm saying, right? Because it's recorded. And also, whenever I'm trying to explain things or talk about technical analysis, then it also helps me to learn and educate myself as well. Hi Sammy, thank you for following, and welcome to the channel as well. Am I in Belgium? No, I'm actually currently in the Philippines, because my wife is Filipina. So yeah, I'm currently in Manila right now. That's why things are pretty hectic here as well, because everything is in a lockdown, as you know. Hi Luigi, thank you for following, and welcome to the channel as well. So let's go on into some more short-term analysis, shall we? Where is the short-term analysis? Let's go to my 4-hour chart. As you can see here, very beautiful 4-hour charts broke out of this all of this resistance, and as you can see here, red line is very clear. 8.5k previous order block. You can see very clearly here, previous order block. How do I see the order block, and what's positive and negative side of the order block? Well, what you can you should follow the simple trick of whatever it has been support will become resistance, right? So when this price went down, for example, this line becomes support, and then because it was support, it broke up, like it made a dead cat bounce, right? So this is support. So when that was support, but it broke down, then naturally that will become resistance, right? So this line is basically our resistance. So when I'm saying that this order block here is our resistance, that's the reason why I call it the resistance, the natural resistance. So whenever we hit that block here, we are going to hit our resistance. A very simple, a very cool tool that you can use is what I'm using on my charts right now is the VWAP ratio. So the VWAPs will always show you like a strong red or a blue line. So here, over here, it was support, right? So it was a blue line. But as you can see, once we broke down, it becomes resistance, so it becomes a red. So you can clearly then easily see when something is resistance or when something is support, basically, right? So that makes things a little bit more easy. I mean, at least for me. So yeah, so we can see here 8.5k is our first resistance, right? So let's take a look at a little bit on our 2-day chart. Where was I? 2-day chart. 2-day chart. Yeah. So looking at the 2-day chart, oops, we can see that since that we broke up out of that all of that resistance, if we make a resistance trend line from that point here where we had our 13.8k. Henry, yeah, you can just type in VWAP, multi VWAP or something like that, multi VWAP, and then you can then you should be able to find it for free in TradingView. So from this point here to this point here, and then there's a possibility, once again, there's a possibility that we get to that point once again and touch that point again, and that will be our crucial point. Either of course we can break up from that diagonal, or we can make a rejection once again, right? So this is our main support line since our bottom to the 3000 something like that, and we've been supporting that line until here where we had that major crash in the 23rd of March. So that's where I'm looking at, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to touch that point, right? So you have to be very careful and just, that's the reason why I'm just going basically block by block, order block by order block. So first order block is here at 8.5, then the next one here at 8.7, and then the third one here at 9.2k range. So we can get rejected at any point in time, but that's why we are day trading, right? So we are just pivoting and just basically playing from box to box. If we get rejected here, then we see what happens here. Do we get another bounce here? Is this becoming support? And then we can long it again and push it up once again. Definitely another shorting spot here at this spot, because we have not been able to break above it. And that then comes the macro view, right? Like I said, if you're checking the macro view and you are thinking, okay, look, this halving is very different from our previous halvings, and it's very tough because we tried to break that spot one time already. You tried to break that spot one time, another time already. Will the third time be successful? Yes or no? So I think that then you can just think about it and just say like, okay, well, the probabilities are quite high that we will most likely get rejected once again, because that's what Bitcoin likes to do, right? It takes its time. And so for me, that would be a natural spot for me to be trying to short the market at that point once again. Right now, obviously, day trading wise, we are in a long, and we are expecting that it will go up higher, and definitely with the halving that is coming up in the next what is it now, 11 days or something like that. Hi Eric, thank you for following and welcome to the channel. Just taking a quick look at Litecoin. Litecoin is actually the one that is underperforming the most from the bigger altcoins. Let's put it like that. It's still not above the EMA 100 even on the daily basis, and still has not broken out of that rising wedge. As you can see, it seems that Ethereum is actually leading the charge pretty much. And yeah, this one, like I said, most likely will be hitting, first resistance would be here at 217. Would be thinking about taking some profits at that point there. And then the next spot would be 245. Actually 245, that's a nice that's a nice amount if we manage to get there. And then the next one, if we want to go up a little bit higher, 258. Yeah, those are starting to become very, very nice and juicy numbers when we would get there, right? So for now, everything seems to be all in order. Let's take a look at some other indicators. Boom, boom, boom. What can we look at? Yeah, as you can see here, our CCI, very, very bullish still. As long as this stays above this pink line, everything is looking very, very good. Oh, we just had our 12-hour close, and as you can see here, we are above the SMA right now. So it means that, you know, over the next couple of days, it will most likely expand a little more, and then finally break. Once we break this triangle here, then actually we will see an even bigger move. So yeah, the biggest move is not there just yet. we made a substantial move, but yeah, it's not there just yet. And yeah, most likely I'm quite confident that we will get at least to this area here, and then we will analyze it from there a little bit longer, right? Let's take a look at some other stuff quickly. 12 hours here, still looking good. Yeah, the stocks are very, very high right now. So oh yeah, some people are thinking like, well, the stocks are super high right now. Doesn't that mean that it's overbought or something like that? Well, in a major uptrend, it doesn't work like that. What happens is the stocks will just, you know, basically curl around here and do something like this in a major uptrend. So price is just going to keep going up. So when people are saying like, hey, stocks are super high right now, we're gonna go down, it doesn't work like that, right? In a major uptrend, don't forget it, in a major uptrend, stocks are just gonna keep hovering around there. Of course, we're gonna have some pullbacks. We will always have some pullbacks, but they're gonna be small pullbacks and not big pullbacks. Let's take a look at my gold. I've been looking at gold for a while. Also, I'm still waiting for it to go to my levels that I want to re-enter a position as well. I got some gold here at this point when we touched it, this EMA 21 at 1684. I'm still holding on to that, but I was actually hoping that it would be getting down here to my EMA 55, but it hasn't happened just yet. Right now, I do think that it seems like it's forming some sort of a bull flag once again, so maybe it will touch this blue line 1650 or something like that. I'll definitely have to enter, get some more gold, because I'm quite bullish on gold on the long term, because if you look at the weekly chart, it looks very, very, very good. We're just making a small retracement here, and definitely if you look at the monthly chart, look at this, amazing. A monthly chart looks super amazing. Above the EMA 21, very high above the EMA 21. Yeah, this one, like I said, it looks like it's going to be getting to at least 1800 area. So yeah, That looks really good. But yeah, I'm still waiting for a better position, a little better position to add on to my position, to add on a little bit more, around 1650, something like that. I'm hoping that it gets there, but if it doesn't get there, I'll start filling my positions once again at like 1684 or something like that. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping that it's going to be. Let's take a look at Nasdaq, because Nasdaq has actually been leading also the stock market, right? The American market has been leading the stock market. This looks quite good as well. Beautifully touched the EMA 55 here. Keeps getting bounced up. Looks very bullish. Now most likely either going to be holding. Yeah, I think it looks like it's gonna hold. Let's see if we can see some other indicators. Stocks are still going down, but it's near the position. Here we are having some lower momentum on the CCI. RSI is below the EMA, so yeah, we might get a little bit lower. So maybe it will touch the EMA 55 once again. Let's take a look at the higher time frames. Yeah, it looks really bullish on the higher time frames though. Look at this. This is forming a nice pattern. So let's take a look at RSI. Yeah, bounced off the EMA perfectly. Yeah, this looks like continuation. So once again, what am I looking at? First up, I would say here, previous here. Yeah, around the 9,000. Most likely we'll be reclaiming the 9,000 at first, maybe 9,100 or something like that. And when Nasdaq is going back to the 9,100, of course the S&P is going to follow as well. So things, yeah, a lot of people don't understand that why the economy is doing so badly, but the stock market is going up. And if you've watched some of my previous videos, I've already explained that there is no correlation, or very little correlation, between the stock market and the economy. Although the economy is like a lagging indicator, so of course if the economy keeps doing badly, there will be fear in the market and people will be not buying stocks. But right now, people are not spending any money or anything like that. They're just basically sitting at home and doing stuff like this, right? Just clicking buttons, watching charts, and yeah, that's basically it. They're not spending any money, right? You're not suddenly going to say, hey, I'm gonna buy a car. Well, there's no cars to be bought. I'm going to an expensive restaurant. There's no restaurant that is open, right? So people are not spending money. They're receiving a lot of support from government. Well, at least in the US, where you're getting free checks of like $2,000, $3,000. So what are people doing? They're just reinvesting and so on. So the stimulus packages seem to be working, but yeah, that's going to be very bad. Not this year. Next year is going to be very bad. What I think about the oil market? Well, the oil market, I've done a video about that as well. We went actually down, all the way down to minus $40 on the oil market, right? So maybe let's take a quick look at on the oil chart where we're at right now. Let's change this one. Let's just duplicate one and remove all of this. Then let's put on oil. US oil. Here, crude oil. Oh, what a beautiful chart, isn't it? It looks like one of those shit coins. It's just so insane. Every time I open this chart, I just have to laugh. Because I'm like, what the fuck? It went to zero. But yeah, so a couple of fundamental things that you have to understand about oil. Please do watch my video about oil, then you'll understand more about the history of oil. And you have to understand, like in the US, the productional cost of oil is around $40, give or take. So if the price remains under $40, the companies will have to shut down eventually. if they don't get support from the government. But the government is of course pumping a lot of money into the oil companies right now to basically save all the employees and so on, right? But the reason why price went negative, minus $40, was because of the futures. So you have to understand, people like me, you are trading derivatives, but don't want the product. We're just basically trading on the price difference, right? So what you want is you buy oil for $14, and then at the end of the month you want to sell it for $16, and just you take the $2 profit, but you don't want to actually buy the oil. The problem was because of the COVID virus, there is an oversupply of oil. Nobody wants to buy oil because nobody needs oil. Nobody's using their car, nobody's using airplanes, nobody's using their tankers, their boats, their ships. Everything is on a standstill, so nobody's using oil. So the people who are trading futures, they were going to be receiving all of that oil at the expiration date of their contract. So what they, of course, they don't want to be, they don't have space to be stocking all of that oil into their garden or into wherever they want. They can stock the oil. They don't have that space. So what happened was they panicked, sell the contract to somebody else who was able to be stocking that oil. So that's the reason why we are negative when we went negative. So what do I think about oil right now? Of course, we made a substantial amount of upward trend, mainly because of countries that are buying the oil because it's so cheap, right? Because for example, China increased their oil reserves for an insane amount of oil. A lot of oil companies closed down, so the supply of oil also went down. But right now the situation is exactly the same. As long as as long as we are still in a lockdown, as long as we are still not using any oil, the price of oil is not going to be, very, very profitable. So would I be trading or buying oil right now? No. I mean, I think by the next contract, you should be checking the futures if you're interested in trading oil. Before the expiration date, if the situation in the world is not improving in terms of transportation, then it's going to be exactly the same. We're going to have an oversupply, deflation of the market, and price is going to be crumbling down once again. So even though it looks very cheap right now at $14, I would not be interested in buying oil. But like I said, if the market reopens, if the market the transportation gets going once again, then of course things can be different. But until then, no. It's not really something that I would be interested in. But of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Whatever you do with your own money is your own thing. So you don't have to listen to me. I'm just giving you my personal thought. That is just my personal opinion. I'm wrong many times. So please don't. I'm just giving you the explanation of what is going on the market and why I still think that it's dangerous to be buying any oil. That's it. Yeah. What can we check? Oh yeah, what I am interested in is the dollar. The US dollar index, actually. As you can see, US dollar, because a lot of money printed, right? 7.2 trillion. I would be thinking well, the value of the US dollar must be going down. But as you can see, the price of dollar during the crash, as you can see here, we dropped at 9th of March. During the crash, actually overall went up. So the dollar is actually stronger, and a lot of people don't understand that as well. But how come the government is printing so much extra money? Why is the dollar still so strong? Well, the dollar is still so strong is because other countries also are printing money. And there is something that is called the Gresham Law that is saying that the bad money is pushing out the good money. Meaning other countries that have a weaker currency are going to always be using their weaker currency and holding the stronger currency. And since the US dollar is a national, that's been used internationally for trading, the US dollar, the yuan, the euro, the strong currencies, people are actually holding that currency and spending their own currency. So that's the reason why actually, if you are forex trading, and you should be checking out some of the pairs from the weaker currency versus the US dollar have been going down. And that's the reason why the US dollar index is doing actually quite good, because people are actually holding, and in times of crisis, they are holding the US dollar more than their own currency, because they see that their own currency is not doing very well. A lot of examples, what happened. That's what happened with the Turkish lira. That's what happened with the Argentinian peso right now. What's going on in Venezuela also right now. So yeah, that's the reason why I am still also very interested in the US dollar, the Dixie index, as a hedge for the upcoming financial crisis. I'm just looking at it because I still believe that this can turn at any point in time, right? So I'm right now I'm not bearish. A lot of people are still very bearish because of the situation, but actually, like I said, I'm not bearish on the stock market right now. At a certain point, right? I think we go back to like 3,000 area, something like that, and then I will reevaluate the situation or see what is going on there. But a lot of people are very bearish. When we dropped so hardcore here, a lot of people were very bearish, and then we created this rising wedge that was not positive as well. We broke down from it, but now we are forming some sort of a channel, which is better. And yeah, we still have a lot of space, right? As you can see here, we can easily go back to like 3,000, something like that, and then we will reevaluate. But for now, things are looking quite good, even though the economy is doing really bad. Where are we now with our position? We are at 8,160. Maybe take a quick look at the 12-hour candle close. What happened with the 12-hour? Oh my God. Yeah, you can't be bearish with this 12-hour candle close, right? This is like a super bullish engulfing candle, and yeah, and that's all thanks to this indicator, right? Like this HVP indicator, horizontal historical volatility. It's an amazing indicator. It's one of the best indicators I think that there is available right now for the cryptocurrency market. And yeah, what is the for the next 12 hours? 8,300 for the first standard deviation, and the bottom one would be 8,030. And remember what I said, if we close at the next candle close above 8,030, we would be above the support line of the VWAP. So even if we go down and retrace at this point in time to 8,030, things would still look perfectly very, very bullish. And if we move up a leg up higher, then we are going to 8.3. Do I think XRP is going to the moon? No, I think I'm not a fan of XRP. I mean, XRP is like what you don't want, to be honest, in a crypto. If you understand the mechanics of cryptocurrency, what you want is to have a decentralized system, right? You want to have a decentralized currency where nobody has the control. Like, I strongly believe that, look, this is your money and you should be able to do whatever you want with your own money. Nobody can take it away. Nobody should be able to take it away. Nobody should be able to tell you what you can or cannot do with your money. That's my personal belief. And if you are a fan of XRP, XRP is a very centralized coin, meaning they can print, similar to what the FED is, or central bank, they can print whenever they want, right? They can print the token and they can just say like, look, I printed 1 million, let's distribute it. Let's, let's pump it into the market and sell the XRP into fiat, and so on and so on and so on. It's the best. Yeah, I hope good luck. And I do believe that we can beat the banks. To be honest, I think banks will have to be adjusting very, 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 very soon, or they will be closing down. And a lot of banks have been, we've already bailed out the banks one time, right? Remember when we had that huge, humongous real estate crash, and the banks that did like all these horrible investments, and then they got bailed out for billions and billions, and they had to merge all these banks into bigger corporations. We had it already before, right? So why couldn't it happen again? And I do believe that that eventually banks will be having to be adjusting. Ethereum, I'm quite a fan of Ethereum actually. I really do like I do like Ethereum. It has a lot of functions. It has the biggest amount of support in terms of like smart contracts and apps and dApps and so on. So yeah, I think there's a future for Ethereum as well. And Bitcoin is too slow for payment. That's true, but that's what the Lightning Network wants to change, right? The Lightning Network should be able to handle the Bitcoin payments as a payment solution on a second layer. So why not? But to be honest, I believe that Bitcoin is most likely going to be used as a store of value. So for people who think that Bitcoin is going to be a payment solution, I think there will be somebody else, maybe another crypto that's going to be a payment solution. But yeah, I only care about Bitcoin, MJ De Luna. I only care about Bitcoin because that has the highest liquidity, and I just want to be. I do believe in the functionality and everything. What Bitcoin stands for. Let's put it like that. But a lot of people are a little bit too idealistic. Let's put it like that. I'm in it to just, for the money. It's just I'm just being honest. I'm just in it for the money. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to make a living, right? I don't like XRP just for the fact that they are centralized. Like I said, I don't care if they are fast. I don't care. There's a hundred different types of altcoins that are fast, so it's not about the speed. It's just about, I don't like that somebody is in control and can or cannot print print more money, print more XRP tokens. I just don't like it. Like, we've already been through that. We're going through that right now with the FED. So yeah, I don't like it. I want it to be decentralized, right? So I want nobody to be able to control it. Nobody be able, because let's say XRP one day they print 10 billion XRP tokens. Then your XRP tokens are worthless, right? That's basically because they are just gonna devaluate their own token. But that cannot happen with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, there's exactly 21 million Bitcoin tokens, right? There's 21 million, that's it. You cannot print more Bitcoin. And as long as they cannot duplicate or they cannot hack Bitcoin or and so on, then it will just stay 21 million. How long I have been doing crypto? So I've been doing it for like close to 6 years, something like that. Yeah, quite some time already. What do I think of Tron? Well, I think Tron is what's the name? The game's name, the guy's name, Justin's son, right? Justin, yeah. Justin is a great marketing guy. If I would be starting my own token, I would probably try to hire him as my marketing manager or something, because he's doing quite a good job in terms of marketing. But once again, I don't care about altcoins. And to be honest, if you are serious about the crypto industry, you shouldn't be caring so much about about altcoins as well. And your portfolio should be very, very, very small amount of altcoins. And that's what I'm hearing from so many people. I understand that a lot of people came into the crypto industry because of an altcoin. You were excited about some ICO, or you were excited about some altcoin, and so on and so on. But at the end of the day, you have to look at this as a small market. It's a very niche market, right? So what you want is to be holding the top tokens, or the biggest tokens, for the highest amount in your portfolio. Let's put it like that. So for me, if you're asking me about altcoins, I'm not really the guy for altcoins. I don't really care about altcoins. I absolutely don't care. Like I know quite well sufficient about most of the altcoins, but yeah. XRP and Stellar, I don't think it's right. There's a cap on XRP. I forgot the number. Okay. Well, let's take a look, right? We can just Google it. Is there a cap? Is there a cap on XRP tokens? Dun, 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 dun. You're actually right. The amount created was 100 billion tokens. So yeah, you're right. There's actually a limit on the amount of tokens, 100 billion. But that's still that's like I don't know how many times the market cap of the world that is, though. You have to understand that as well, right? Like if the value, let's say the value becomes $1, it means that since you can have 100 billion tokens, yeah, that would be a crazy market cap, right? Yeah. The best trading platform. I'm not gonna give you any advertising or anything like that. I'm not sponsored, or I'm not in it for the money or anything like that. So I'm not gonna give you. You just go for whatever you feel is the best platform for you. Most people who are trading already know which platforms they are using or most accustomed to, right? So yeah. In terms of BTC, there's like a ton of them. So, but yeah, I would obviously go with the biggest ones to be on the safe side. Wherever there's a lot of liquidity, that's basically where you want to be, or where you hear that there's not too much hacking ongoing or fishy stuff ongoing, or sites that have a lot of members. Let's put it like that. Anyways, we are over 1 hour. My throat is already tired, and I still have to do some more trading later on with some of my other positions that I'm currently holding. Let's see here. Yep, we're still ongoing. Things are looking quite good. Like I said, tomorrow morning, let's see what the daily close is. If the daily close is above the EMA 200, things are great. If the daily close is above 8,000, it's even better. So yeah, we will be back tomorrow morning. Tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. UTC plus 8. Let's hope we hit our target of like 8.4K or 8.5K, and then make some money, and then go onto our next position, and go on and see what's happening. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys. It was a pleasure talking to you, and of course, as always, stay home, stay safe, and stay COVID free.